Antonov An-14. The Antonov An-14 Pchelka or Pchyolka Russian, Pchyolka, little b NATO reporting name, Clod is a Soviet utility aircraft which was first flown on 15 March 1958. It was a twin-engined light STOL utility transport with two 300 HP Ivchenko AI-14RF radial piston engines. Serial production started in 1966, and about 300 examples were built by the time production ended in 1972. The An-14 failed to replace the more successful An-2 biplane, which was manufactured until 1990. The An-2 is still manufactured on special order. The An-14's successor, the An-28 with turboprop engines, is still manufactured at PZL Mielec factories in Poland under the names PZL M28 Skytruck and PZL M28B Bryza. With very stable flight characteristics, the An-14 could be flown by most pilots after a few hours of basic training. A small number of An-14s are still in airworthy condition. History. The development goal was a plane that was easy to fly and could be used as a light passenger and cargo transport, as well as agricultural aircraft and air ambulance. The maiden flight took place on March 15, 1958. Aeroflot had planned to introduce the type in 1959, but the project was delayed by development problems with the Antonov An-10, which tied down the complete Antonov OKB, as well as issues with the An-14 prototype itself. The An-14 went into production in 1965 in the state-owned aircraft factory No. 166 in Arseniev. By now it had different wings, a distinctly V-shaped tailplane and modified vertical stabilizers. A large cargo door at the rear of the cabin had an opening of 0.85 by 1.90 meters, 2.8 by 6.2 ft. In 1967, the type was presented at the milestone Domodedovo Air Show. The An-14 had a capacity of 7 passengers or 600 kg 1300 lb of freight. For aerial application in agriculture, it could be fitted with a 1,000-liter 260 US gal tank and spraying booms. The air ambulance version was able to accept 6 stretchers and 1 nurse. There was also a VIP version for 5 passengers. Other variants included the An-14B with retractable landing gear, as well as the An-14M with turboprop engines, which was later developed into the Antonov An-28. The maiden flight of the An-14M took place in 1969. It received a stretched fuselage and high lift wing. Like the An-14B, its prototype had been fitted with retractable landing gear, but that was dropped in the final production version. Another unusual variant was the An-14SH, which tested an air cushion landing gear for unprepared landing strips. While these tests were successful, the gear impaired the aerodynamics and only left minimal payload capacity. A precursor of the An-14SH had been the An-714 with inflatable floats. In China, there was a smaller variant named Sha-2 or Capital Endagon. 15 An-14 were exported, 4 of which went to the East German Army in 1966. They were used by the Verbindungsfliegerstaffel 25 Aerial Liaison Squadron of the East German Air Force in Strasbourg, renamed to V-14 in 1971, until 1980 or 1981. 2 of these, 995 and 996, survive in the German Air Force Museum and the Airport Museum Cottbus. Production ceased in 1976 after 332 units as the type proved impossible to replace the Antonov An-2. Design. A high-wing plane with struts. All variants except the An-14M are powered by 2 Ivchenko AI-14 air-cooled 9-cylinder radial engines. The strut-braced wing has automatic leading-edge slats and split flaps. Twin vertical stabilizers are mounted on the tips of the tailplane in the airstream of the propellers. The tricycle landing gear was not retractable in the original variant, but could be fitted with skis for winter use. Short sponsons serve to mount the main gear. The fuselage is an all-metal semi-monocoque design. Operators: Afghanistan. The Afghan Air Force operated 12 from 1985 through 1991. Bulgaria, Bulgarian Airlines, East German Air Force, Mongolian People's Air Force operated 2 from early 1970s through 1980. Guinea, Military of Guinea, Yugoslavia, Letelsky Cent. Aeroflot. Specifications: An-14. Data from Soviet transport aircraft since 1945. General characteristics: crew 2, 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 crew. Capacity 6-8 passengers / 720 kg 1587 lb payload. Length 11.36 m 37 ft 3 Wingspan 21.99 m 72 ft 2 2 2 2 Height 4.63 m 15 ft 2 n e2 n e2 n e2 n e2 n e2 n Wing area 39.72 m to 427.5 sqft. Aspect ratio 12.15:1. Empty weight 2600 kg 5732 lb. Gross weight 3450 kg 7606 lb. Max takeoff weight 3600 kg 7937 lb. Cabin size 3.1 mx 1.53 mx 1.6 m 10.17 ftx 5.2 ftx 5.25 ft. Power plant 2x Ivchenko AI-14RF 9-cylinder air-cooled radial piston engines, 220 kW 300 HP each. Propellers 3-bladed variable pitch propellers. Performance: maximum speed 210 km/h 130 mph 110 kn and cruise speed 180 km/h 110 mph 97 kn. Landing speed 80 km/h 50 mph 43 kn and re-kn and range 650 km 400 mi 350 nmi. Service ceiling 5,000 m 16,000 ft. Takeoff run 110 m 328 361 ft. Landing run 110 m 361 ft.